Karl from CPC Finance. Today I'm joined by Josh from Octane Capital. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's Josh. I'm Octane Sales and Marketing Director. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Let's jump straight in. Why should we use Octane?
Well, we're a specialist lender. We help investors convert, add value to property. I suppose our biggest selling point is that we lend at 75% loan to value net day one. So traditionally with bridging lenders, they might start at 75% gross, but then the deduction of interest means that the net loan suffers, and we don't do it in that way. We add interest above our 75% day one position, and that just means that the client gets a lot more day one. And then in addition to that, we also fund 100% of any refurbishment costs.
Which is an important part of particularly majority of our client bank, where they're changing properties from a house to a HMO. They always want the work funds. It's funded in arrears in drawdowns.
Yes.
And you use a quantity surveyor or an AM?
No, we use an asset manager, and that's another key point in terms of the speed of drawdown and also the cost of drawdown. So the project is overseen by an asset manager employed by us. The client would spend a bit of their own money, and then they will request a drawdown to replenish those funds. The asset manager will do a quick visual inspection before each drawdown. There's no revaluation of the property at every stage, and it's light touch.
From experience, that where we've dealt with them, quick turnaround. Whereas other finance companies that use a QS, it can be quite a drawn out process.
I think for us, that this is a bridging loan. We want the client to get in and out, just like they do. We also only charge interest on drawn funds, so there's an incentive there for us to get money out the door as quickly as we can. But look, the client can only exit whether they're looking to refinance or sell when the work is actually finished. So we want to be able to help them get the work finished so that they can exit and we can get repaid. So our interests are aligned in that way.
I also think one of the things which you've done, obviously with the new funding lines or however they came about, is that yours is a tracker.
Yes.
Whereas others are fixed, and with the rates coming down, it's been an advantage to you.
Yeah, we've got about 700 clients, I think, on our loan book now that have all enjoyed multiple reductions in their rate. And you're right, the rates track the Bank of England base rate, and for as long as the base rate's falling, that's a good thing. Yeah,
so you must have known something was going to happen when you set that up. Or is that the boss's?
Yeah, it's definitely not my fault.
The way that, particularly on the HMOs ones, it is a residual val, which sometimes the clients don't understand.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I suppose if the client is doing substantial work to a property, so hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of refurbishment, the current value of the property will be assessed on a residual basis. So the valuer will start with their opinion of GDV.
Yeah, they work backwards, don't they?
And they work backwards, yeah. They deduct the build costs, professional fees, contingency, and they arrive at what's called a residual land value. And some cases, that can be slightly lower than purchase price.
But there is movement on that, and what I mean by that is if they're keeping it, you sometimes waive the profit and stuff like that out of the costs that the value is deducted.
For an HMO conversion, we would always remove profit from the residual.
The valuer does his bit, but then you use common sense. Yeah, that's it. So apart from that, any other projects on the horizon?
No other products, no. So we're exclusively focused on bridging and refurbishment and developer exit finance.
So you've recently launched development product?
We did. We looked at doing some ground up, but our core appetite is refurbishments and improvements to existing property. But despite that fairly narrow focus, we are lending at scale. We funded 260 million of loans last year. We'll soon hit 2 billion of lending since we launched. So we are, we're lending at some good scale.
Overall, good news.
Very good news.
Right, thank Josh for joining me today. So watch out for future podcasts on all our social media outlets.